What's going on, guys? So today, all the Biogenesis stuff was finally announced, and it's about goddamn time, is all I gotta say, because all we heard for months and months was that ever since day one where Tony Bosch finally started cooperating with the MLB, you heard potentially 2 weeks, and then a month went by, and then you heard guys weren't going to serve the suspension until 2014. I mean, it was just a long freaking merry-go-round circle of when the hell are these guys going to get suspended. Well, today was the day. I was at work today when I finally heard the news of who's getting suspended. And let me plug my charger in. Here is the list of players that got suspended today. Nelson Cruz got suspended. Everett Cabrera got suspended. JP, Johnny Peralta. Antonio Bastardo of the Philadelphia Phillies. Francisco Cervelli. He's a Yankees catcher. Jordany Valdespin, Mets outfielder. Jesus Montero, Mariners catcher. He's in the minors right now. Cesar Puello, I think is how you say his name. Mets outfielder in the minors. Sergio Escalona, Astros pitcher. He's in the minors. Fernando Martinez, Yankees outfielder. He's in the minors. Fortuno de los Santos, he's a free agent pitcher. And Jordan Norberto, I think is how you say his name. He got suspended as well. And of course, the big fish out of all of them has been Alex Rodriguez. He got a 211 game ban, but he will be playing tonight because he did appeal it, and the MLB thinks by Thursday is when the arbitrator will go through and rule down on the case how many games he gets, and that's when his suspension will get handed down. And it needs to be handed down. And personally, I think that they didn't give Alex Rodriguez enough punishment. He wasn't cooperating the entire time with the MLB, so much so that they ended all talks with him on Saturday night after his comments in Trenton. So he better not get comfy in a Yankees uniform, because he's going to be watching the baseball games at the same place I do, right back there, because he ain't going to be around long. And the whole view of this Biogenesis thing, it's another scar on baseball's already pretty battered face. With the whole everything that happened in the 90s and early 2000s, and how, you couldn't trust anyone. Anyone does anything remotely good anymore. Look what Jose Bautista had 54 in 2011. Everyone's, steroids, and even players you think were clean that aren't getting bigger enough. And, Ryan Braun, he's never gotten really big or nothing, bulky wise. His numbers have remained consistent since he was a rookie, but he was using the entire time. And it's just not good for baseball. And I still think that these 50 games for first offense is a complete and utter joke, and it's, still not a deterrent. Because let's look at what Johnny Peralta. He's going to be eligible to come back September 27th. He was smart, didn't appeal it, because he'll be able to be eligible for the playoffs. He's a free agent next year. He hit 300 this year. When it's all said and done, he hit 300 and then get 11 homers, 54 RBIs. And everyone's going to go, potential teams lead to shortstop and go, well, that translates into about 16, 17 homers and about 75, 77 RBIs for a whole total season, 500 ABs. So you go, we're going to get Johnny Peralta. So Peralta's probably going to get paid more than the Tigers are paying him this year. So this missing 50 game stuff, big whoop to him. And he got paid almost all his money for this year. So where's the punishment in this? I don't get it. And the same thing with A-Rod. He sat here and lied the entire time. He came out and admitted it in 2009. 2010, I should say. And I don't get the punishment in this. He's a repeat offender. He's done nothing but try to shit on the MLB's face. And he's just going to miss 211 games. And he's still playing right now. I mean, I don't get it, and they need to bring down this punishment. What I'm really happy about is that the players are getting behind this as well, that they need to stricken the punishment to try to deter some of these players from cheating. Now let's take a look at what Johnny Peralta not being in the Tigers lineup means. Thank God, Miggy Cabrera is in the starting lineup tonight against Cleveland. Because if you didn't have Miggy in there, I'd have been scared. Because Miggy and Peralta combined have 153 RBIs between the two on the left side of your infield. If you didn't have him in the lineup, you would have had Avila, Prince, who's been off for the last month and a half. You'd have had Ramon Santiago at second. You would have had Jose Iglesias at short and Donnie Baseball at third. All five of those guys combined, just barely eclipse what Peralta and Miggy were doing from a run production standpoint. So I'd have been scared. But thank God Miguel Cabrera's back in the lineup. And I was talking about this today on my way home from work. If I'm Jim Leyland, I'm going to Cabrera and go, look, you say you're okay, good enough to play, fine. You can't run out a ground ball, don't do it. If it's going to aggravate your back, I don't care. If you can't dive and make some plays and it costs your team some hits, so be it. If this is what I got to do to keep you in the lineup and you feel well enough to hit, I'm doing it. And that's all there is to it. Because now that Peralta's gone, you know, he hit 300 last month. He had like 15, 16 RBIs. You know, I don't think his bat's going to be missed too much when you got a healthy Miggy and a Princess going. You know, he heats up, and Victor and Jackson and Hunter, you know, they keep at their pace. Fine, whatever. You know, Iglesias, his defense is well going to make up for what he's going to lack, what Peralta gave you in offense. And, you know, the rest of your lineup is deep. But the key is having a healthy Miggy. You have a healthy Miggy, it's fine. You're not going to miss Peralta that much. And this is probably the last time we see Peralta, because I can guarantee you he's not getting re-signed next year. Dombrowski kind of hinted at that during the press conference about trading for Iglesias. So be it. You know, he's done. And now, you know, if I'm the rest of these teams, you know, Nelson Cruz just hurt the Rangers a lot because the Rangers are only floating like 13 games over 500, and they're looking up at Oakland, and he was their second best right-handed power bat on that team, and they're looking to acquire another hitter. Luckily, Dombrowski got, you know, Iglesias at the right time because he knew Peralta was getting suspended. But, you know, like I said, just another scar on baseball's face, and until they go up and raise these suspension lengths a bit deeper and try to make a deterrent that, you know, because like I said, Peralta's going to get paid next year. Where's the punishment? You miss 50 games to come back next year and get a payday. You know, for your season you had this year, you're gonna make more money. Where is the punishment? You know, I like Melky last year. He got more money from the Blue Jays than the Giants were paying. Where is the punishment? I don't get it. You know, like I said, till they strike down these suspensions, it's a joke. And like Peralta losing him, you know, it's gonna suck not having his bat. But Iglesias' range is more gonna make up for it as long as Miggy's healthy. You know, this lineup is more than going to be fine without Peralta because he sucked last year and they still won 89 games. So let's go into the series real quick with the White Sox. There's not much to talk about. The White Sox are coming in, having dropped 7 straight. Dougie Fresh on the mound. It was weird. Last Friday, when I went to the game, Fister went up against Cole Hamels. Fister went 8 innings, gave up no runs. Even though he gave up 1 run, but it was unearned. Cole Hamels goes 8 innings, gives up 2 runs. Tigers win 2-1. This Friday, Fister goes 8 innings. Gives up 1 run. Hector Santiago goes 8 innings, gives up 2 runs. Tigers win 2-1. They played identical games at the past 2 Fridays. It was deja vu. Game 2, Max Scherzer went to 16-1. I mean, absolutely dealing. Tigers won 3-0. I mean, it was an easy game, comfortable ride all the way through. Benoit got back-to-back saves. And then Game 3 was a pretty intense game. Their pitcher, who's slipping my mind, his name, I don't know why, but he pitched a really, really great game. He's a young guy. I don't know why his name is slipping my mind. It's let me look it up real quick. Rienzo. Yeah, Rienzo. He was going really good through 5, but the Tigers made him pay for a couple leadoff walks, and they tagged him up for a couple earned runs, and they were up 2-1, and then Drew Smiley blew a save. Luckily, the bullpen has been really, really good since Varys got there. Even before Varys, you know, it's been really since Benoit's been named to the closer role. The bullpen has been a lot better. Bruce Rendon pitched 2 outstanding innings. Varys was really good. You know, it was the first time we saw a slip up from Smiley all year, really. Besides his 1 bad outing in Minnesota at the start of the year. Porcello pitched great. Last month, Porcello was the Tigers pitcher of the month. He had a sub-3 ERA, almost sub-2 ERA last month. And he's just continued to pitch well. 7 2/3, 8 hits, 4 strikeouts. I mean, he's just... Last year, you know, my biggest gripe with Porcello is he couldn't put consistent stretches together. This year, he's had 2 long, very good consistent stretches. He had a really good stretch in the start of the year. Got hit up a couple starts, and now he's put together another 8-9 stretch of really good, consistent baseball. And I really like what I'm seeing out of him. His ERA is 4.28, so it's nearly, if he keeps pitching like this, it'll be below 4 by the end of the year. I mean, he's been the perfect 5th starter this year. I've got no complaints about Ricky P this year. Bruce Rendon picked up his first win that game. And then we go to the Indians for 4. Big series. I'm so glad that Miggy's back. This is a huge series because we can really start putting some ground between us and Cleveland. Because as much as we have won the last few days, Cleveland's done just the same. You know, they've only lost once in their last 9 games. They're 9-1. We're 9-1 in our last 10. So Sanchez goes up against Kluber tonight. Tomorrow night is JV Justin Masterson, Dougie Fresh, Salazar, Game 3, and then Max Scherzer ends the series against McAllister to wrap it up, and then we head off to New York. So that's all I got for you guys today. Follow me on Twitter, all that good stuff, and I'm gonna keep making some more. If I hear any more news on the Tigers, one last note: I think Hernan Perez is actually gonna be coming back up to the Tigers, even though he never officially reported to Double-A Erie, is I believe what I heard. I think he's actually gonna be coming back up, and so he probably will be starting tomorrow, or a good chance to be able to be used off the bench today. So that's what I got for you guys today. Sucks we're losing Peralta, but it's for the best of the team. He cheated. He's got to pay his time, and yesterday was probably the last time you'll ever see him in a Tigers uniform. So have a good one, guys.